I wonder who you think you are. Do you damn well think you're God or something? God give life, God taketh it away, not you. I think you are the devil itself.
Gardeners arriving at work found Vera Millward's body here in a car park behind Manchester Royal Infirmary. The body was propped up against a fence. And this time, the killer had taken more risks than ever before. For this was a very public place indeed to leave a murder victim's body. There were more than 800 patients and staff in the hospital buildings round about. The whole area was floodlit, and the car parks nearby were in constant use by visitors to the hospital and by prostitutes and their clients. The police searched for witnesses, but they found the same public apathy they'd always found. Try as they might, they failed to turn up anyone who'd admit to having seen the Ripper.
Right. This is where Vera Millward died, where she was found. I can't pull over because it's still a hospital, as it was. But on the 17th of May 1978, she was found here, just on the left, down here. She was found by gardeners who were working in the hospital. If you give me a second, I'll try and turn around. Yeah, she was found by somebody called Jim McGuigan, who was doing the gardening at the hospital. Just let me turn around, I'll show you again. The hospital has changed so much since 1978. I will talk more about Vera Millward at her grave, which I'm going to right now. It's in Southern Cemetery, Manchester. It's been that was a nightmare just trying to film this. I've gone down only ambulance road at one point, but just here on the right, this is where Vera Millward was found on the 17th of May 1978. But I'll talk more about her at the graveside.
The body was found here in the grounds of the Manchester Royal Infirmary shortly after 8 o'clock this morning by two gardeners who'd left their vans in the grounds of the hospital overnight. And immediately, the police saw a link with the Ripper killings.
Serial murder may be about the rarest form of violence, but it is one of the most terrifying.
Vera Millward died of blows to the head and stab wounds in the stomach.
Well, good morning everybody. I do feel like I'm a bit cursed doing these at the moment. There is currently a storm in Manchester and it's taking me 45 minutes to find this grave. So this is the story of Vera Millward, and I have found her grave. We are at a huge and quite famous Southern Cemetery in Manchester. Sir Matt Busby, Ellis Lowry buried here. So is a couple of the unfortunate victims. Now Vera Millward was born in Madrid during the Spanish Civil War. She arrived in the UK in the 1950s. She married and had 5 children in the 60s. When the youngest child was 15, her husband died and the children under 18 were put into care, and in desperation Vera turned to prostitution. By the time of 1978, Vera was living with her common law husband, a shy CY rocket, and they had 2 children together, a boy 6 and a girl 8. Absolutely massive cemetery. See why I'm having so much problem finding people. Vera had a stomach ailment. And she weighed less than 8.5 stone. She had one lung and had operations in 1976, 77 and 78. She was a very ill lady, and she needed the money. So she ignored all the police warnings that were in place in regards to Peter Sutcliffe. Only two victims were in Manchester. The hospital where I've just shown you, and although I've not filmed it yet, hopefully the spot in this cemetery, which is a bit of about 500, 600, probably further yards away. These were the two spots in Manchester that Vera and Jean, the other victim, took their clients in Manchester because they were deemed to be quiet and safe spaces. On the 16th of May of 1978, Vera left her home at 10 p.m, telling her husband that she was going out to get cigarettes and pain medication. The boyfriend knew what this meant. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, Vera would see a regular client of hers. Vera did go to buy cigarettes this night, but the client didn't show up. Vera decided to wait for hopefully other business to turn up. And it was Peter Sutcliffe that came by. A man would say he was taking his son to the hospital, and he said he heard three screams of help. The police would say, unfortunately, in this area of Manchester Hospital, screams weren't uncommon. There was, of course, an incredibly public place where Vera was murdered, and it was also the last prostitute that Peter Sutcliffe had killed. But yeah, that's the story of Vera Millward, a mother of 7, taken